There's a new reason to fear the dark. Friday the 13th, the series. There's a new series coming to television. If you don't watch it, you could be making a grave error. A very grave error. Friday the 13th, the series.
A break-in, the body in the park, the bag lady in the darkness.
She was strangled by a rope or something.
They all lead back to a mysterious cup with a deadly past.
Would you like to join me for a nightcap?
And a more frightening future. What evil flows from this devilish device? And who shall be its next unwitting victim? This twisted tale of terror begins on Friday the 13th, the series, next week.
There are people who think that Halloween is a kid's game. It isn't.
The one thing that'll spoil a party is a visit by a ghost.
I command you to be gone!
And when that ghost is your dearly departed Uncle Louis,
I've come back to undo the curse.
you will find yourself facing deadly traps and twisted little demons.
I've been waiting for you, Jack.
Yes, it's a haunted Halloween on Friday the 13th, the series.
Tonight at 11 on WXXA.
It's magic,
A death-defying act that will stagger the imagination.
and some magicians would kill to know how it's done.
He can't get out!
There's no sleight of hand, no hidden escapes. Just a magic box that holds the secret of an evil curse.
Oh, caked with blood.
Now the trick is to stay alive or to be scared to death. Next week on Friday the 13th, the series. This is the story of Dr. Jack, a physician who cures with one hand and kills with the other. And this is the lady who knows more about his story than anyone else.
There's only one surgeon who can save him now.
And while some trust him,
You killed my daughter.
others hate him.
Get on with it.
Everyone should fear him. Dr. Jack the Ripper is coming to Friday the 13th, the series. He may be coming for you next week. Take a ringside seat for the next round of terror. On Friday the 13th, the series.
I'm gonna wipe up the floor with them.
You don't understand.
Beware of the man who wears these gloves. They're possessed by a tortured soul.
Mickey, now!
Once its murderous powers unleashed, there is truly nowhere to hide. Nowhere to feel safe. Not ever again.
Come on.
Grab a friend and hold on for your life. Next week on Friday the 13th, the series. Horror prowls the heartland, and it's lurking right behind you on Friday the 13th, the series. What dark power commands a human harvest?
It was the scarecrow come to life.
Where will the terror strike next?
The Scarecrow has to find another victim, and soon.
And who will be the chosen one? Satan's scarecrow demands a sacrifice. Beware the Grim Reaper, next week on Friday the 13th, the series.
Say, I believe! Oh, Lord, I believe!
Is he a faith healer or a fraud?
You promised to cure me, and I'm dying!
With the evil powers of a miracle glove, he holds the key to life and death.
First the glove heals, and then the glove kills to pay for it.
It's a chilling nightmare that begins with a single touch on Friday the 13th, the series. Next week, you'll pray it doesn't happen to you. And its evil waits for you.
Oh, I got your share.
For every treasure found, a life must be lost.
Shed a little light on the subject.
Mickey's worst nightmare comes true.
Ready or not, here I come.
Throw the lantern over!
Terror strikes on Friday the 13th, the series. Next week, beware Hell's Fury. The curse of blind love casts a deadly spell.
You're truly beautiful.
Be prepared to be loved to death.
Will you love me till the day you die?
Some
somebody gets love struck by the compact, then they have to be killed.
She attracts.
I'll always love you.
And then she kills.
Until the day you die?
A fatal reflection on Friday the 13th, the series. Next week, it's a love to die for. Try your luck in Chinatown on Friday the 13th.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
A game where magic needles bring good fortune to one.
I'm going to win.
And death to another.
Tattoos come to life. They kill the people that they're on. If he doesn't kill, he doesn't win.
It's the ultimate game of greed.
Those needles are my life.
They are your death.
Luck, be a killer.
Desperate people do desperate things.
On Friday the 13th, the series. Next week, all bets are off. 10 years ago, they sent the wrong man to the electric chair. Somehow he didn't die, and he didn't reappear until now.
Have we met before?
10 years ago.
The one they couldn't kill is back.
Every single person in those photos was turned up dead.
His revenge is sweet. His method, shocking.
Don't you come any closer.
The Electrocutioner on Friday the 13th, the series. See what kind of man can beat the chair next week. This is the story of a machine that can wreck your mind.
Now it's my turn to be smart.
A cursed configuration that has fallen into the wrong hands.
You're going to make me famous, aren't you?
Witness this twisted transformation. A brilliant mind coming from the brains of poor, unsuspecting souls.
We've got to reverse the process. He's stolen our mind. We've got to get him back.
The Brain Drain on Friday the 13th, the series. Whatever you do, don't change your mind. Watch next week. The quilt of Hathor carries a curse.
I knew the quilt was evil.
On an all-new Friday the 13th, the series.
Tonight at 10.
A man of God acquires the devil's tool.
Blasphemy.
On an all-new Friday the 13th, the series.
Tonight at 10.
The strangest things come to life on Friday the 13th.
Who is it? Who's there?
It's a body double whose only mission in life is death.
Get him.
But which one is real and which is the killer clone?
The machete killer has claimed another victim.
No!
Be ready for twice the terror on Friday the 13th, the series. Next week, there's nothing to fear but fear itself. Treasure on Friday the 13th. There's no telling what you'll find. Here's living proof old pirates never die.
McBride's curse. He swore he'd return to avenge himself.
Now he's coming after you.
There's one more.
It's the day of the dead. Don't turn your back for a moment. Friday the 13th, the series. You don't stand a ghost of a chance. Next week.
There's nothing like mother's love.
She's such a bright child. Look at the color in those cheeks, Mark.
But on Friday the 13th, this mother's love is deadly.
We do what we have to do, and then Allison will be safe.
Mommy Dearest made a deal with the devil.
What is the curse? It's got to do something.
Every time she takes a life, her dying daughter lives another day.
Somebody knows. Somebody knows what we've been doing.
Stop it!
Another day of terror on Friday the 13th, the series, where the price of life is death. Next week.
The doorway to hell only opens on Friday the 13th. It's an invitation to explore the realms of darkness.
It's a dimension between here and hell.
Here's a one-way ticket to terror.
Hold on!
With no way out. Take a peek at what awaits the damned.
Ricky, get out!
If you dare, on Friday the 13th, the series. Next week, you will learn the meaning of fear. Don't be afraid of the dark, unless it's Friday the 13th. Then, no matter where you hide, the spirits will find you.
Someone has stolen their soul.
They hold the power of an ancient voodoo creed.
Through her, I will live again.
The power is terror. And it's coming for you on Friday the 13th, the series. Next week, don't turn out the lights. On Friday the 13th, the patients in this psycho ward will confront their deepest fears.
Tell me!
So prepare to cross the threshold of holy terror. Your guide is Dr. Carter. Her method carries a curse. If it doesn't cure you, it will kill you. The doctor will see you on Friday the 13th, the series. Next week, make an appointment with terror.
To kill.
On an all-new Friday the 13th, the series.
And raise the dead.
It was an antique coin from a witch's coffin.
First it killed people, and then it could bring others back from the dead.
But now it's fallen into the wrong hands.
Welcome back, partner.
And who shall become its next victim is anyone's guess.
Call it.
The cursed coin and a pocket full of bad memories on an all-new Friday the 13th, the series. Heads you live, tails you don't. Next week. On Friday the 13th, meet a master of heavenly music who wields the power of a hellish curse.
Gotta get back that violin.
And his beautiful apprentice, seduced into a devil's duet of love and death.
Most of the musicians, all of them stabbed through the heart.
Beware the phantom of the symphony. Terror strikes a high note on Friday the 13th, the series. Next week, a symphony of horror. When a wax figure comes to life on Friday the 13th, there's going to be hell to pay. It's the perfect alibi for murder.
Wax finger at the scene of the crime.
A work of art by day, the work of the devil by night.
I don't care if there's a cursed object involved. We've got to nail him and nail him now.
Easier said than done.
Jack, look out!
On Friday the 13th, the series. Next week, run for your life. Beauty is only skin deep.
I'm Bill Pratt.
But terror goes straight to your soul on Friday the 13th.
He's one of the biggest stars in Hollywood.
A ladies' man with looks to die for.
You know that every one of his films someone dies accidentally?
See how love at first sight becomes a fatal attraction for Mickey. It's a curse being beautiful on Friday the 13th, the series. Next week, a pretty package of terror. When a wax figure comes to life on Friday the 13th, there's going to be hell to pay. It's the perfect alibi for murder.
Wax finger at the scene of the crime.
A work of art by day, the work of the devil by night.
I don't care if there's a cursed object involved. We've got to nail him and nail him now.
Easier said than done.
Jack, look out!
On an all-new episode of Friday the 13th, the series.
Tonight at 11 on WXXA.
It's showtime.
And they really knock 'em dead on Friday the 13th.
Dead body found in an alley.
This is one dummy with a mind of his own.
Don't we have something better to do?
A mind for murder.
This is more than a coincidence.
He's a tough act to follow, if you survive.
What are you so scared of? Just a wooden dummy.
Terror comes to life. And you can't hide on Friday the 13th, the series. Next week, take a stab at fear.
On Friday the 13th, terror swarms all around you.
Coroner's report says he has so many bee stings they couldn't even count them.
Beware the curse of the vampire bees.
Bees full of blood.
Their honey can bring you a taste of life immortal. The sting is the instrument of sudden death.
I'm sure these bees will like you.
A nightmare wings your way on Friday the 13th, the series. Next week, here's thy sting.
Enter the enchanted world of a magical playhouse on Friday the 13th.
Now they've entered our world. We're gonna play by our rules.
Here, anything you wish for will be yours.
Except you gotta be real nice to us, or else.
And when the fun's over...
This isn't funny, kid!
This game has just begun. Terror plays for keeps on Friday the 13th, the series. Next week, it's your turn to play. Here's an experiment in terror that could only happen on Friday the 13th.
That detective said she had needle marks on her throat.
You mean somebody was experimenting on her?
To lose your mind is one thing. To lose your soul is something else.
I found the section of the brain that makes us human.
It's a method of madness to cure a dying girl. No! What price life on Friday the 13th, the series. Next week, you're better off dead. On Friday the 13th, a cursed camera will turn classic movie horror into real life.
The police think some animal attacked him.
What?
And the camera's curse has only begun to work its power.
It allows the owner to become that character.
Beware the moon of the wolf.
I want us to be together forever.
A movie nightmare becomes reality on Friday the 13th, the series. Next week, you'll howl in fright. If you're looking for a sure thing, bet on Friday the 13th.
My good luck charm. Try it on.
It's an electrifying experience you won't soon forget.
It doesn't bring you good luck, it's evil.
You know what that ring can do, don't you?
A winning streak of terror.
This time, I'm on a road that will never stop.
Feeling lucky? Take a shot. On Friday the 13th, the series. Next week, you've got nothing to lose but your life. Welcome to Friday the 13th, a place where life is an illusion.
Then this is a dream.
It's no dream.
And nightmares are real.
Our master has watched you undo his works for the last time.
It's Lucifer's elaborate scheme to make Mickey his bride.
Mickey and Jack, are they alive?
Yes, but they're in there.
Trapped.
Mickey!
A marriage made in hell on Friday the 13th, the series. Next week, the honor of your presence is requested. Here's a pool shark who just can't miss on Friday the 13th.
You've been hustling me.
At least, not since his girlfriend took her cue from the devil.
That cue stick is cursed.
Now, she's putting her lover's opponents in the corner pocket forever. Will Mickey be next behind the 8 ball? Find out on Friday the 13th, the series. Next week, it's your cue to scream.
No one's ever going to catch me at anything again.
On the next Friday the 13th, it's crime without punishment. Meet a prisoner who's found a strange loophole in the law.
What does this thing do?
A leather jacket that's a perfect ticket in and out of the jailhouse.
Who's in here?
An invisible cloak, the perfect murder alibi, time and time again. A deadly sight coming up on Friday the 13th, the series. This bad boy won't disappear next week. Your own risk.
Hello, anybody here?
Welcome to a house of horrors on Friday the 13th.
I knew I had to have you.
And a date with the body snatchers.
This is my family.
Now, the only chance to survive is to become one of the family.
I used the charm to enter Eddie's body. It's me, Johnny.
The undead rise on Friday the 13th, the series. Next week, you're in grave danger. What started as a tragic accident
I killed a little girl.
becomes a terrifying plot for murder.
You've got to get me out of here.
It's a living soul trapped in a locket,
Find another soul and trade it for mine.
cursed with the power of life and death.
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned.
A soul for a soul on Friday the 13th, the series. Next week, pray for mercy. Imagine a television set that channels spirits from beyond.
Roger, I'll see you rot.
Spirits that return to seek revenge upon the living.
We'll see you get what you deserve.
It's a haunting series of unexplainable deaths, and there's no way to pull the plug.
Dad!
On an all-new episode of Friday the 13th, the series. Next week, don't touch that dial. On Friday the 13th, a cursed painting becomes Mickey's one-way door to disaster.
Where is she?
It's that damn painting.
It's a journey back in time to meet a legend of evil.
The Marquis de Sade.
Life, like the charnel pit, offers no escape but death.
The road back is blocked by his deadly plan.
Mickey.
On an all-new Friday the 13th, the series. Next week, time travel can be murder.
Spirits of the night.
A 12-hour event. So steeped in mystery, so drenched in terror. It could only happen on one date.
Friday the 13th.
Are you having fun?
Celebrate Friday the 13th with the Sci-Fi Channel's Friday the 13th, the series marathon. Today, beginning at 6 p.m. Eastern. See eyewitness accounts of alien abductions, the real story on Sightings in Depth and Beyond, Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern, only on the Sci-Fi Channel.